Hello, hello, peace and blessings, everyone. How's everyone doing? Just waiting on some people to join in. Peace. Is it Nico? Naiko? Hope I'm not saying it wrong. What is going on, everybody? Starting in about a few more minutes. Just seeing if there's anyone that wanted to join. Actually, yeah, let me put the link in too. Nico, got it. Peace, Dennis. Yo.
Hello?
Hey, you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
What's good?
Yo. How you doing? Hello?
Hey, you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
What's good?
Yo. Uh-oh. Feedback.
I could send a link in the chat if others wanted to join, right, Holla? Is that
I
cool?
think you did. That's how I got in.
Not in the signal from the comment section I meant. My bad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was like, are they expecting me to start this? I didn't know what, who was starting it.
No, because I had set it up. I was like, is there anybody else joining?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was seeing if Jabari wanted to join too. Don't know if he's busy.
Jabari Land.
Salima.
Down with Mbaku.
Don't say my name like that.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
What's up? Hey. What? Should I say this over the air? No, I'm not going to say it over the air.
It was gonna say.
I won't say it over the air. I was going to say that I just recently got something. But I'm not going to say it over the air.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Hint.
I think I know what it is.
Yeah, hint, Norcross.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'll just leave it at that.
Hey, Junie Zone. I hate to tell you, man, but we're gonna spoil it. I thought everybody would have saw it by now.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, then I wouldn't be watching.
I would not be here.
Yeah, we gonna spoil it. Yeah, sorry, Junie Zone. So might as well get started. Before we do, first off, I would just like to say that again, it was great seeing you guys. I had a blast watching Wakanda Forever, and just after that, hanging out, having some dinner. It was great. It was wonderful.
My only regret is that we didn't get you and Jabari into the range with us.
Oh,
I think that would have been cool.
That would have been so funny.
I don't know about that. I mean, because after seeing Salima's video of her at the shooting range, I was like, man. And then when she was throwing the axes, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I've seen enough. I've seen enough.
Wait a minute.
Peace,
Yeah.
Dennis.
What's going on, Dennis?
How you doing?
Cooling. But I had a great time, and I just saw Wakanda Forever again the second time, but in 4DX.
All right,
man.
So you actually drowned in the theater.
I wouldn't even say drown. I was the boat was rocking. It was rocking the boat everywhere.
So you saying I need to go see it again?
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna go see it again.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go see it again then. That's it.
But you got to see in 4DX though. We got to see in 4DX.
Awesome. That I will take that suggestion and run with it.
Yeah. So
who is ATAC?
I'm not sure.
You see
ATAC,
that?
can you come off mute?
And put some type of picture in your avatar, because we don't like those blank avatars. That's kind of suspect. But anyway, go ahead, bro. Do your thing.
Well, no problem. I was gonna say, just before we get into, because I had some questions that I've written down just to like get you guys' thoughts. But I guess starting off, what would you, I guess, rate the movie yourself, Wakanda Forever, and why? I would say for me, I give it a 10 out of 10. I think they did really well in terms of, honoring Chadwick. Just the action too, I enjoyed it as well. And I like just the camaraderie, like in Wakanda with the technology. Is very fascinating what like they're doing with, like vehicles or daggone, DNA to code or fix things. So I thought, to me, it was really great. But what did you guys think about the movie?
Well, I'll let Salima go first.
I'm gonna agree. 10 out of 10. I thought I was happy that they waited the time that they did to really develop that story. I'm happy that they didn't, because Chadwick passed away, they didn't rush into anything. It seemed like it was a thought out, well-planned storyline. I was very happy. I was happy that they paid tribute to Chadwick. I was happy that they, the end of the movie probably was the best part for me.
Oh yeah.
Because the story doesn't end. There was just a lot of beautiful moments in there. Not many things I didn't like. I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. I was, I got a little misty-eyed a bit, which I said I was going to do. I said I was going to cry.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like full-on boohoo cry, so I was proud of myself. But it was a little misty, But it was definitely a good movie. I think that Ryan outdid himself. I think that we have so much to get from him. He's amazing in what he does. I was very pleased with the direction of the story. I was happy that they let the sisters just shine. I was happy that they showed that even in Wakanda, everything is always not roses and butterflies. The Queen and Okoye, they had their little tiff, and I was just happy that in the end, it all turned out to be a happy ending. So
I'll say my least favorite part was when Queen Ramonda died. I
Well,
don't. I didn't.
I mean, it had to have something sad in it. It had to have like sad parts, and
I know, but
um,
just the way she did, I was just like, oh damn, like
yeah, and it was. But you got to understand, she died saving someone, so she was a queen till the end.
yeah,
You know, she really did her thing. It was just and it also show how far, if you're pushed far enough, how far a person could potentially go. And being, because Shuri was almost the bad guy. Like she went dark,
almost, yeah.
you know. So it was just a really really amazing storyline. I enjoyed it, and I'm definitely gonna go see it again.
Dennis, you got any thoughts on your take on the movie?
Yes, I do. In terms of artistic and the optics of it, I love it. But I hate to bust some of y'all bubbles. I was totally disappointed. I give the movie a C minus, although I like it. I brought my kids there because one thing that the movie did was it promoted a European narrative of what our politics should be about. Because there's a lot of things in Wakanda. First of all, it showed me at the end, and this is where I became disheartened, that we are, as people of African descent, we are so eager to form allies with one another. Like Dr. John Henry Clark says, that we don't have confidence in ourselves. And that we're talking about vibranium, an element that was rare, but
Mm-hmm.
they were willing to sort of get into allies with these so-called Aztec people under the impression that we need them. And this is what always happens, goes wrong in our history, is that we form allies prematurely. And those same allies, whether it's in the United States, the allies we had in the 1960s, to this day, they eventually abandon us, or they eventually wipe us out once they get power. That's one of the things that I disagree with, because they should have pushed those people out, whether they brown skinned people or not. They should have never got cozy with them, because history shows us that when we become allies to people that doesn't look like us, in the end, we lose out. Like we lost Kemet to Arabs and high schools and the Greeks, all of these, China and Africa. Now, the last thing is this, and I have a lot to say. I've been invited to these, Wakanda Express, and I've been there. And I actually, if you look at my, me and a buddy of mine, we rented out a whole movie theater so the young kids could see it. Another thing, Michael B. Jordan, he's always marginalized as an ultra militant person because of his nationalistic instincts. He's marginalized. They bring him in, a few times when the queen is like in her mind or whatever. When he was like,
You're
I
talking
told,
about his character as Killmonger, right? Or
yes, he's
oh, okay.
always marginalized. But if he was, if when you look at Chinese people movies about the history of their country, those Michael B. Jordan is the one who's the hero. But to us, he is the radical. He's too radical. So what I'm saying is this: I love the movie. The movie looked great. It's a good movie. But as a political scientist, I see that we're falling into the same trap of believing that we need allies all the time, or we need people we need somebody to hold our hands. And we can't do it on our own like China or Russia or India does. And that's what the trap that we're falling into.
All right. Interesting points. Jabari, Hollop, did y'all want to give y'all take on the movie? Because I got some questions after
The
this.
only thing that I say about the movie is it confronts colonialism without directly dealing with the colonizers. And what I mean is, yes, it did have a situation with, you know, the Western powers. But what I mean is, with these they have the CIA and they make it seem like he's the good guy or they're the good guys, and that's not necessarily the case. You know, the CIA has never been sort of a good, you know, a lot of people historically. So that was the one thing I didn't like. It was like, okay, you're talking about the legacies of colonialism. You bring up, you know, the conquistadors, you bring up all this, but you don't really confront like the United States or confront France the way that I think they should have done. It was more sketching the phase. I do like the fact that they were very authentic with the civilizations, whether or not it was with Talakan, you know, using Mayan speakers, you know, having, you know, Mayan iconography. It really sort of brought the realistic flair to it and stuff like that. The only thing I would say is just that from a political standpoint, I think strategically it was the right thing to do. Most of what they did was the right thing to do. Because one of the points that they brought up eventually at the end was you got two powers with vibranium fighting over who should exist and who not should exist when all the rest of the world wants your vibranium and wants your resources. So again, why are you trying to destroy each other's civilizations? That the CIA in the video makes it very clear we're trying to destabilize y'all. What's a better way to destabilize than have two countries with vibranium fight each other nonstop, and then we end up getting it? Because again, like I said in the video, if the U.S. has the vibranium, they're going to do the exact same thing. So one of the strategic things is when you have something that the world wants and there is another power that has it as well, y'all even need to form y'all really need to come together with that common interest of we have what the world wants and we can make power moves. Because at the end, if y'all end up fighting each other, when they hit it, hey, they know you can do now. I mean, they already destabilized your country. They already not have access to the vibranium. They have the vibranium detectors, and they use what? A black person who was coming up with these vibranium detectors. And eventually she says, you know, so this is the least thing I could do is help you guys out. So overall, I like the movie. I just wish they would confront the colonizers more instead of it being sort of like quasi. And I do appreciate the alliances because, again, when countries are going to declare war against Wakanda, I mean, you got vibranium, but I mean, you're gonna need them. Like eventually, you're gonna need them because, again, if they go up against you, and we saw what happened to them the first time when they ended up taking the queen out, that's not going sound well for your existence. So, you know.
And to add on to that, I want to give Holop his take, but before that, because with the alliance, my thing was, okay, what was his name? Namori, he went to Wakanda because he wanted the scientists. And when Namori and Shuri had that conversation, I thought they were really going to get to the root of it. It's not the scientists that drew the blueprint of the machine, but it's the folks that created the machine to get the vibranium. That's where I thought they were going to get to and be like, oh, it was the Americans. Like, yeah, that's when I thought they were going to team up and actually, you know, attack or whatever it is or confront so that they can get down to the root of it. But instead, it was just kind of circling in the air without really, you know, breaking down what has transpired. But that's just my little take on it. Hollow.
Man, it's a lot to unpack. I'm gonna say just as a overriding, this will be my rider for the rest of what I gotta say. This is a movie, and I look at it as a movie, and I look at the story. I don't really pay much attention to the social, economic, the political themes of the movie. That's like a secondary thing for me. What I look for in a film is how it's executed and what the story was, and did it accomplish what it was trying to accomplish. And in that sense, I give it a 10, because just from the way that he put it together, the way that everybody's performance was, like you talk about Kanye, they need to protect Angela Bassett at all costs. Like, she's a national treasure to me. And so from that perspective, I loved it. I love Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler, anything that Ryan Coogler makes, I'm going to see. Just as a director, he's like my favorite director right now. He's batting 1,000. Now, what I find interesting, I want to get into the politics. The reason why I've been reluctant to deal with the socioeconomic aspects of this film is because it seems to me like nobody is taken away. If you're going to look at it from a political standpoint, why are we making an issue about who Wakanda aligns with and when the main point that we should be taking from this whole thing is that there's a Black nation. This is the most powerful nation in the world with the most rare resource that allows them to be the most technologically advanced. Why is no one taking that away? Like, I remember when the first Black Panther came out, instead of people like me, Minister DeWood, and people like within the BAIO, we were saying, man, now we're going to get a chance to see a Black nation on film, where we see Black people taken care of and governing themselves, which is, to me, the most important message. But what did we get out of it? What were most people talking about? Whether Killmonger was the realist or T'Challa was the realist, and whether the CIA guy was the hero. All of this bullshit, rather than the main purpose of the film was a Black nation. So, before we go into the alignments and the resources or whatever, do we agree that Black people need our own nation? Yes or no?
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if you have a nation, is it against the rules to have allies?
No.
Is that unheard of to have allies?
No.
How come America can have allies and they don't feel that their interests are not going to be served because they have allies? Why is it that Black people can't have allies? And then because we feel like it's going to be like The Walking Dead, our allies are going to bite us and then we're going to become our allies. The reason why we think that way is because we're in a position where we have no fucking power. And in America, it makes perfect sense. You don't control the socioeconomic and political context that you live in. So of course, these alignments and these associations with other people don't benefit you, because at the end, they're going to get what they want and you ain't going to get shit. So I totally understand it from the American perspective of Black people living in a society that they don't control. But that does not apply to Wakanda. Wakanda is a nation. They control their military, they control their finances, they control their resources. So them being aligned with somebody doesn't threaten them. And at the end, if she hadn't have done what she did, they would have been wiped out.
Shuri, right? Wouldn't during that fighting scene.
If Neymar hadn't called a ceasefire, what would have happened?
It still would have continued. It would have been endless.
So it made sense from that perspective.
Well, you know, I listen to y'all. You know, just let me know if this is my time to talk. I want to address every issue that the last brother brought up, and I like this conversation. First of all, we got to make it clear. Are we clear that Wakanda is a fictitious nation?
Yes.
Are we clear on that?
I am. I don't think a lot of people are.
Everybody knows it's a fictitious nation.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, whether it's Birth of the Nation, movies and art has political and real life implications. Hollywood is the biggest political propaganda. So what I'm saying is, although many of you may see this as a cute little Marvel comic version of Black people, winning and being autonomous and having some form of independence, but in real life, that's not the reality. Because the reality is this: did you know we have a real life potential Wakanda in the Congo? Did you know that the Congo have 80% of the world's cobalt? Without it, you wouldn't have watches. You wouldn't have cell phones. You wouldn't have electric vehicles. You wouldn't have hand tools. You wouldn't have all of these e-vehicles, these bikes. None of that. And did you know that Boeing, the airplane manufacturer, said in the 2035, all of the airplanes is going to be electric vehicles. In order to make all of those things that I'm talking about, whether it's a toothbrush or rechargeable battery, you have to have cobalt in one country. The Congo has 80% of it, 80%. But Chinese people control 14 of the 16 cobalt mines. So in real life, we got a potential Wakanda, but we're not talking about that. We want to talk about a movie that's fictitious, when we need to be talking about how can we unite and can control the cobalt so that the world can come to us.
Wait,
But
whoa.
we're not talking about that. We want to talk about a movie.
Wait.
We want to talk about a movie.
There's something I gotta address.
Hold on.
There's something I gotta address. There's something I gotta address.
Because it's easy to talk about a movie than what's real.
Who is we?
Who are you talking about? What you mean? What's we? What is you
Who's
talking
we?
about? Whoever.
The Congo has a government, don't they?
The Wakanda?
No, Congo.
The Congo got some puppets like most of the 54 African states.
All right, exactly, and I agree with you. So what is this we stuff?
I'm talking about you and everybody that's listening, the people of African descent. That's what I mean by we.
We don't control the Congo.
We got to control it.
But we don't control it now. That's my point. And I want to make another point before you go ahead. I just want to make one more point before you go. And this might seem controversial to some people, but I have to say it. This whole thing about hidden messages and meanings in movies is absolute fucking bullshit. And let me tell you why. If movies are so powerful, right? Because the messaging in the movies is going to infiltrate into our brains, how come the BAIO membership hasn't gone up after Black Panther? How come more people aren't saying Black people need a nation of their own? If movies are so powerful, why wasn't it able to do that?
Well, look at the birth of the nation. When white people do it, they know how to use it as a propaganda tool. When we do it, we don't take it serious. We want to come over here and gossip.
Now you're saying two different things.
Like this a country club or something.
Now you're saying two different things. First, 1 minute you're saying it's powerful. Now you're saying it's not powerful.
But what I'm saying is the narrative that you and the rest of y'all are talking about. You're just here like we're talking about, like we having a country club meeting. This has serious implications.
What's the serious implications of Wakanda Forever?
Hold on. Can I address this point? Can I please address this point? Because when he brings up the Congo, especially talking about the cobalt situation, talking about puppet government, the people voted for Tshisekedi. They had Fayulu, they had Kabila. They chose Tshisekedi because they wanted to and because of his business experience. Secondly, you are completely denying the fact that it is the Congo's government responsibility to address its instability. It is its job to address the M23 rebels in the Eastern Congo and get the necessary support that it needs. It is the Congo's responsibility. Yes. We have to stop acting. We have got to stop acting like these African governments are not making willing decisions. Nobody is bringing a gun to their country and telling them they have to. They are doing it because it's in their best interest. And at what point do we say it is on African leaders and Congolese leaders themselves? If they don't want a Wakanda, then they don't want it. If they don't want to be the leader, then they're not going to be the leader. But I'm not going to sit here and act like the Congolese government is not responsible for its own.
They got puppets. They got puppets there. It's been like that since colonialism. They got puppets there.
But you're acting like we disagreeing with you.
Of
course they got puppets.
So what, you leave the puppets in there? So what are you talking about? What's the remedy to that? Just sit back?
You said puppets. You said puppet. Is this on Mobutu Sese Seko?
All of them there. All of them. Most of them. Other than like Robert Mugabe. All of them are puppets.
Let's get into it.
you trying to say Robert Mugabe?
Yo,
You mean the
Jabari,
same one that was
your
doing?
mic is messing up. I
Let
can't
me
even
let
hear
my
you.
man.
I'm sorry. You mean Robert Mugabe? You mean the same Robert Mugabe that was working with a current what was it company where he called his own black employees lizards and said y'all can't touch me because I was posted with the Mugabe mission. That Robert Mugabe.
Jabari,
You,
Jabari, your mic is messing up. I can't really hear
I'm
you.
sorry, I'm using my headphones right now. But I'm cooking right now. But yeah, you mean that Robert Mugabe? At what point do we stop treating people like it's straight up Thanos or treat like it's insurmountable and just act like that's what they want to do? That's what they want to do. I'm not sitting over here losing my oh man, these puppets in the Congress. No, if the Congolese people wanted to mobilize and form a civil society and run a candidate that they want to, they can do it. They're
It's
choosing
nothing
not.
stopping them.
Nothing is stopping them.
Hey, I just want to know what's the title of the video?
Thank
Of
you.
this video,
Yeah.
movie review of Wakanda Forever.
Okay, so it's a movie review. Why be
That's
so
what I'm.
hostile?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, first of all, if I'm all for the power of movies and the power of messaging and all of that. What my question is, why is it that the only messaging that seems to have impact is the negative messaging, but the one that we should be paying attention to has zero impact? After Black Panther came out, I have not heard one black talking head, anybody in mainstream Black America who says that Black people need to have a nation of their own. If you know who they are, point them out to me. I haven't heard nobody saying anything about Black people need to control their socioeconomic and political context. I think that everybody. I think that everybody.
Who is working
you
for
can't
a real
interrupt me while I'm.
Wakanda? Nobody.
Hold on, Dennis. Hold on, Dennis.
Nobody.
You can't interrupt me while I'm talking because I'm not against you. I actually agree with what you're
All right,
saying.
we're not on the same page. You want to glorify a movie, and I'm trying to make a real Wakanda in real life. We're
Bro, I
different.
do that, but the title of the video is literally a movie review. Like,
And
I don't know if you're new here.
I'm telling you my perspective on it.
I don't know if you're new here, but we talk about that stuff. This might
Hold
be the
on, one at a
wrong
time, one at a
video.
time, one at a
This might
time.
be the wrong video to try and
So
like
in other
muscle up.
words, I'm your enemy.
No, you're not my enemy. You're
not. Okay, then let me speak and stop telling me that I'm against you when I know that I'm not.
Because you keep misrepresenting my position. You're saying
I'm not misrepresenting your position. I'm trying to make my position, and you telling me that I'm against you,
bro. We're not.
You don't even know what page I'm on.
You're a movie critic. I'm a political scientist, a statesman.
We're talking about a movie.
A movie review. Like,
we're talking about a movie. The title of this is Movie Review of Wakanda Forever. We're talking about a movie. Wakanda is not real.
Can I say something? Hold on one moment. Can I say something? Brother, I'm not sure where the hostility is coming from, but we're talking about a movie, and when we're talking about building a nation, I've never seen you on one of our lives because we have these conversations all the time. That's what we're about. So the fact that you came on a movie review and you want to express all of these huge, grandiose speaking points is kind of odd to me because you're never on the lives when we're actually talking about building a Wakanda. That's kind of odd to me. So if you maybe want to go ahead and do a little bit of research and come on one of our lives where we're talking about those things, then by all means come on and we can have these conversations because that's what we're trying to do. This right here is about a movie review. And it's turned into this huge thing that it did not need to be because it appears that you're just on the wrong live. So
I might be, I'm gonna say this, sisters. I might be on the wrong live. I get a lot of invites to be on here. I might be on the thing, but to me, I'm not here. I'm not a movie critic or an analyzer of movie because life is too serious. We got Kyrie Irving got to apologize to a bunch of white Jews for promoting a movie that he likes. So things are pretty serious to me. And my impression was when we're going to talk about Wakanda, I'm going to give you my perspective on it. And I give the movie, in terms of artistic presentation, I give it a 10. But in terms of reality, I believe I would give it a C minus because of the political decision making that they have. Yes, this is a movie. It's a fictitious. Wakanda is fictitious. However, movies, especially on small children's minds, has major impact and consequences. No movie is neutral. Every movie reflects the political or socio-economic perspectives of the producers. So what my whole thing was this, and I'm not against being allies because United States, one thing when United States make become get in alliances or coalitions, they make sure they are not the junior partner in the coalitions. Just like in United Nations, United States run the United Nations. They're not a junior partner. But what I'm saying is, when African people of African descent, going back to the first dynasty, well, we would say after the 18th dynasty, during Thutmose III, what happened is whenever we get into alliance with people who are non-blacks, and I'm not ruling out alliances, but what I'm saying historically, we typically become either the junior partner in that alliance or we eventually become the slaves of those people. So what my point was in the Wakanda, it appeared that we were over eager and anxious to get in alliances with other people of color, unlike China, when China hold their own water. That's what I was saying.
I completely understand that. I completely respect your position. What I'm saying is this was supposed to be a lighthearted review of the video of the movie. And
I'm on the
that's
wrong
not
thing because
exactly.
It's nothing lighthearted about me. It's nothing
Exactly.
lighthearted
So
about
then,
me.
like I stated, you may need to just go on. There you go. There you go.
I love this, man. I really love this.
What the
I
fuck is
just
that?
think that there are people who have taken this movie so to heart, and everybody is butthurt over a daggone movie.
What?
And
Salima.
totally, like, tell me what movie were we watching where the Wakandas was so anxious to get into an alliance with Talakan?
She did
Salima.
that. She did that. First of all, she did that because she had to save her people. One and two, Shuri. Because I'm going to go forward and I'm going to say this, that when it does come when they have some type of conflict, she's going to be ready for them. She, in her head, has calculated. She already know how to hurt him.
Right.
So we're not talking about some punk nation. We're talking about a nation that for centuries they have stayed undetected. They have the most advanced weaponry. We're not talking about a punk nation. So the fact that this is what everybody is getting from this movie goes to show how little respect and how little love they have for their people. As much as they're trying to say black power this, black power that, you don't even have enough you don't even see enough power in your people in a daggone movie, let alone in reality, that they're going to actually do the right thing for us.
Yo, Salima, I've said this many times and I'll say it again. You know, when you can't tell the difference between an ally and an enemy, you are a fool.
Yes. And when you don't realize that it's either I'm going to go ahead and say I don't want to have any allies and I'm going to continue fighting when my people were dying. Like, they were winning. And then the next step was going to be for them to go onto the surface and kill everybody on the planet. That's what was at stake when she made an alliance with this man. It wasn't that she just was a punk. It wasn't.
She spared his life. She could have killed him.
She could have killed, but if she had killed him, his people was not going to stop.
Right.
So she had to spare his life.
And also,
she had to spare his life so that she could save everybody else. And for some reason nobody sees that.
He even admitted the White Panther was powerful.
Let me add on to your point, Salima. Not only that, but what does Neymar say at the very end of the movie? When the world comes for Wakanda, they're going to need us. They're going to need us to defend them when the whole world gags up on them.
Yep.
Exactly. And did y'all? I don't know if everybody caught. His woman was like, "Why you do this?" She gonna be a problem.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I gotta be honest with y'all. These decoders and shit, they piss me the fuck off, man.
It was a freaking movie.
These motherfuckers love decoding shit, and they can't. And the stuff that should be decoded, for some reason, that just slips through.
It slips through. If you're taking your child to a movie to learn about socioeconomical anything, the problem ends with you.
Right. You're going to take them to go and see Wakanda forever.
If you are so passionate about what you believe in, if this movie is able to sway your children in any way, sir, you are the problem. You know
what I saw? You know what I saw the movie doing, like what Black Panther did for young children? Made them dress up like the Black Panther. Mm-hmm. Made them dress up like Shuri. Made them dress up like M'Baku. That's what the movie did for them. What the fuck is you talking about?
Powerful people in this world that they could emulate that would have their backs. But if your children got anything other than that from that movie, you are the problem.
Well, first,
remember
read the title. He couldn't read the title.
Remember, y'all. Remember this. Remember that tweet where he was like, man, I just can't watch Black Panther because there's not enough sanctions on Wakanda.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, y'all
Lord.
Y'all
Wait, let
Mr.
Black Wilson talk, because he was trying to say something.
Go ahead.
I say, dude couldn't read the title because he came in, because I was originally just listening, all right, movie review. And I came on because this motherfucker puffing his chest out for no fucking reason. We know puppet governments exist. I guess he wanted everybody to see the Black Panther movie, dress up as the Black Panther, and leap over to the Congo and just start fucking shit up.
No, you know what it is, bro? I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is, because I've been around these dudes all my life. He thought that he was the most intelligent dude in the room, and he was enlightening us on what's going on the continent.
My man. He was driving me crazy.
The political scientist.
Do you realize who the fuck you talking to?
And I'm like, sir.
He didn't read the title.
It was just getting to the point where it was going out of hand. I just wanted to talk about the fact that nobody's talking about the fact that M'Baku went there and was like, I'm the king. Nobody's talking about that. Shuri left. She not taking this herb. I'm the king. Who missed that?
And
why are we not talking about the fact that we got a gorilla king now? I'm so excited about that.
That's crazy.
And I'm not, bro, you was just on the wrong live. You was on the wrong live, and that energy that you brought to this live was just unnecessary.
But see, it's not even only. Go ahead, Hollow.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, it's not only comments like that I hear a lot, but there's even comments where they're talking about, this whole agenda of the gynocracy or emasculating the Black man. Here's the one I'm about to put in the chat right now. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Where and why? Why?
I call this riddle me this. This one said, this was essentially Woman King Part 2. In my head, the United Nation room scene would have been more powerful with Chadwick Boseman or T'Challa himself. This should have been King versus King, Patriarch versus Patriarch. I could tell Boseman would have had great chemistry with the Namor character.
That is a nonsensical point.
Hey,
that's what I'm saying. That doesn't make any sense.
Wait. Can somebody block this person in the chat with their
I just blocked them.
Thank you very much.
That is such a nonsensical point.
It doesn't make any sense.
You know what? If Bruce Lee was alive, he should have played John Wick. What kind of stupid fucking point is that?
That's how you know they didn't read the comics. They have no clue what the fuck Black Panther is actually about.
Exactly. And that's what I think that's the thing that drives me the craziest. Is that you got people giving all this socioeconomic and political commentary. They never even read the comic.
Especially since, I'm going to say it again, T'Challa always died in he was going to die. Sure, he was going to be the Black Panther. I don't get, if you don't know about it, just sit there and watch it for the action of it. You understand what I'm saying? And what kills me is that the people who never read a Spider-Man comic, I've never read a Spider-Man comic in my life, but I can actually watch Spider-Man and be like, wow, that was a cool movie. Mm-hmm. Why does the Black Panther have to be all of this?
Yeah,
Why
because
do
they
we
read
have
in
to have
what it
these
is that they're
huge
trying to read
art?
into the movie so they can show how bright and intelligent they are and how they can decode Wakanda forever.
And
Get
if
the
you
fuck out of here,
believe,
man.
and if you
Hey guys,
believe that the Congo is the real Wakanda,
Yeah,
what are
the
you
Congo,
doing to fix this? Like, this is my thing.
the
Seriously, like,
Congo is the real Wakanda. Okay,
right,
Congo.
right. But if the
okay.
Congo is the real Wakanda, what are you doing to fix this? And I'm not trying to. I mean, because brother's the one that brought it up. I'm not really trying to attack him or anything like that. I'm just saying because you brought this up. What have you done? What are you doing other than trying to argue with other Black people and not even listening to their points of view? Because he just came to argue.
Right.
He did not come to have any type of intellectual or meaningful dialogue. That was not his purpose.
Yeah. And
Okay?
he knew absolutely
And
nothing about the BAIO. Nothing.
absolutely nothing. And he just wanted to argue with the brothers.
Right.
There you go. That's
That's
what
all
he's
he
doing.
wanted to do.
He suited and booted to hop on the live and act like an idiot.
Right, right. And my thing is, what we're not going to do is, first of all, you're not going to attack my brothers. I'm sorry. That's never going to happen.
Hi everybody. How are you guys doing?
President
Great,
Umoja's
how
in
are
the
you?
building.
Hey,
What is
I
going
just have
on?
to say, I wish I was in my other vehicle so my daughter could have just heard you, Salima. I'm like on my way to a training session where they got it's my Ethiopian family and they got a son and daughter and stuff. But anyway, though, I've been sick the last like 2 or 3 days. That's why I ain't been really like talking and speaking and
Oh
stuff
my
like
God,
that.
we got it too. We got it too. The sickness is real.
Ew, y'all
It's
sick?
it's just really good it's just really good to hear y'all. It's really good to hear y'all. It's so good to hear y'all. And I just wanted to say that, hey, I really love y'all, Salima. I really, really, really like hearing your voice like so much. And I think you guys are really cool. Even when we talk about the nerdy stuff, we are a really cool bunch of people. That's all, y'all. Love y'all.
I'm
Love
going to
you
send
too,
y'all
bro.
something to get rid of what y'all got. Because I think I may have felt a little bit of something when I got back, but I took my stuff.
Yeah, man. Right
I'll
when I
send it
got
to
back
y'all.
in the
It'll
last
clear it
couple
right
days,
up.
it's been bad. Yeah,
I'll
thank
send it
you.
to y'all and it'll clear it
I
right
swear,
up.
this comment here, he says, I could tell Boseman would have had great chemistry with the Namor actor. No kidding. Really?
Really? Both
Really? Wow. If only we could have had, oh, that's right. He's dead. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
The gynocracy
understand.
killed him.
The gynocracy.
I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. No, eventually it's going to be that the Illuminati killed Chadwick Boseman. It's going to be all these other things other than the man had cancer. Like, it's going to be everything else.
Oh,
but
I can make it shorter for you, Salima.
Angry right now that y'all have turned our experience of this movie into something just completely and totally opposite of what it was. So I say we just get back to talking about the movie. And
you know what,
on.
Salima? You know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is when young children see this movie and when Black folks see this movie, they're going to come out the movie saying, "Damn, I can't believe that that Wakanda is following the blueprint of the Western nations." That's the first thing they're going to say when they come out of the theater.
Right.
It's like they look for meanings that are not that significant.
Not there.
Again, it's like, bro, it's like he's like, oh my God, we understand the power of movies, but guess what? People are not brainwashed. People are not robots. People do not just watch a movie and then instantly have those viewpoints or instantly have their minds changed. If their minds were changed, they already were in the process of that anyway. Same thing with The Birth of a Nation. They were talking about the film The Birth of a Nation. And I said, bro, Birth of a Nation was popular, but let's not forget during the time period it was. Yes, it may have added a little bit more prejudice, but it was already during the height of the Nadir race relations. It was bound, the lost cause had already been established. So
wouldn't you say, Jabari, wouldn't you say that movie was a movie of its time?
Yes.
So what? Did people watch Birth of a Nation and oh shit, we need to hate Black people?
No, they already were there.
Exactly. God damn, these people are fucking stupid, man.
That's like, look, this is why if the BAIO create a movie, they're gonna find something small and make that negative into a huge one. oh, y'all wearing green, black, and red. It's supposed to be red, black, and green.
Yeah.
What the hell?
But you know what else? You know what they're not going to get from the movie? It's funny how we can get all these hidden messages. Like I said, hidden messages are bullshit. That's already been scientifically proven.
Mm-hmm.
All of this bullshit, they're going to, the one thing they will not get from the movie is that black folks need to have their own nation.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it funny how that's the one message that they don't get?
The one.
Right. And this is, and Big Bro, I want to like apologize for you, man, for having to sit through and listen to all this nonsense. But I want to thank you for always showing up, because when you have to break down and really say and really mean it, like these people are really stupid, because some people really come up with some nonsensical arguments, and it's like you argue just to argue. And what really turns my crank is the passion that they argue with this like mythical, philosophical things that don't matter. We will really be ready to fight over something that does not matter, right? But then when you say, you know what if we use all this energy to like put towards making our own, and then you're looked at like you're a damn fool. You are crazy.
I'm sad that he got out
real life
solution.
We're gonna coin the phrase right now: strong and wrong. Okay,
passionate ignorance.
Strong and wrong.
Passionate.
You know,
strong and wrong. Like
what I wanted to ask him. What I wanted to ask him before he got off is whether he was with the BAIO. Had he signed up to the website?
Of course not.
He takes this so seriously.
Especially the Congo part.
Once I started making those statements about go research us, go do your due diligence before you jump on a live and mischaracterize us and do all of these other things and think that all we do is movie reviews. Go and look at 100%. Not because we very rarely do a fun live. Like, it's very rare. So you're not going to destroy that for me. You're not. I don't care what you feel, what you think. He was going to stop being the way he was being. And I'm happy that he just exit stage left, because this was not for him. But again, I would even stop that type of attitude on a serious live, because the way he was coming was just unnecessary. And you are talking about allies and black people this and black people that, but you have condemned us before you even knew who we were.
So
that's not a person that I want to be around.
Where was he during Bend the Knee?
Where was he during Bend the Knee? Where was he when we talked about when we're laying out actual blueprints as to how we're going to interact with one another in our nation, where we were going to make sure that no one was disrespected, hurt, or harmed? Where was he when we were having conversations about how we are going to interact with the natives and how we're going to build relationships with other black countries? And where was he during all of that? He comes on a movie review and he wants to drop all of these credentials that we can't prove. He wants to talk about how this movie is destroying his children. If a movie can destroy anything that you have embedded in your children from birth, then you are a bad parent.
Right.
I'm telling you, like,
so all of that other stuff is ridiculous. Now, please, can we get back to talking about this amazing movie? Like, I love the movie.
He destroyed the whole energy.
That's what I'm saying. Destroyed. We got to get back.
It's back. We back.
Somebody come back and come in our space and destroy the energy. Nobody's talking about the fact that M'Baku is going to be the next king, and I'm still hurt about that. Like, what the heck?
Right.
Yeah, because how can he be king if it's a gynocracy?
Exactly,
because the women were taking over. Oh my God!
They emasculated the man.
As M'Baku came in there to take the heart-shaped herb and become the new Black Panther.
Salima.
I mean, let's understand what they're saying, and it's because these people are not intelligent enough to see the important small things that are happening, because that was so little that most people missed it.
And let's talk about something else. Oh wait, Andre, did you want to say something?
No. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about something else that I think is probably the most important thing. All of those cast members love Chadwick Boseman, and that was very hard for them to come back to do this without him.
Right.
So I think it's highly disrespectful to try to pretend as if they had some type of agenda,
right,
by doing this movie. They were trying to honor their friend. And the least you can do is just enjoy the fucking movie and appreciate the fact that the people poured themselves into the roles and gave you the most that they could under the circumstances, and leave it at that.
Yeah. And the fact that Shuri played this role with so much love and compassion, and she was so brave to go back and do this movie, because losing Chadwick broke her. It literally, she was like, I'm done. I don't want to do the next movie. So to disrespect his memory and disrespect the sacrifice that those people had to go through in order to make this movie what it was is so disheartening to, an almost
and disrespectful
and almost completely black cast.
Right. It's disrespectful because, first of all, they loved him more than we do. We don't know him.
Right.
They knew him.
Right.
So how dare you get up here trying to talk some bullshit? And, there was a female agenda. Get the fuck out of here with that dumb shit.
Literally.
They can see every goddamn agenda except the agenda that they should be seeing. They're showing you a black nation on screen 2 times, and 2 movies.
Also, I'm going to need y'all to stop disrespecting black women and acting like we don't do what need to be done when it needs to be done.
Thank you.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, okay?
They're misogynist. The misogyny is coming out.
I'm going to need y'all to stop pretending when shit hit the fan, we not the ones there that got y'all back. 150%. No matter how much y'all disrespect us, no matter how many times y'all act like we are not worthy, we're not beautiful, we can't do what needs to be done. We take care of your kids, we clean your dirty drawers, we do everything that needs to be done. But once we step out of what you consider the line and do something that you don't agree with, we ain't shit.
You know what, Salima? Let me address that. That conversation is not happening amongst intelligent black people. Because we was together, right? We was all together, black men, black women, in Atlanta having a good time. None of this gender war bullshit even came up.
None of it.
So this is not happening amongst us. It's happening amongst mouth-breathing Negroes on the male side and on the female side. People that ain't about shit except they dick and they pussy.
I guess I don't understand.
Let's keep it real. That's what they about. They about their own dick and their own pussy. And it's not being satisfied adequately for them. So now they want to go on a war against the whole fucking black race.
I want to add to your point about taking messages that weren't there, right? So it's going to relate to this, right? You know how Wakanda has inspired people to even go back to Africa or go visit the African continent, right?
Right.
So you had a few black celebrities go to Africa. And they were just going to Africa because they had never been there before, right? Do you not know one of them said, are they trying to spread an agenda of feminism and LGBT rights? I'm like, bruh, they can't go to their continent and enjoy themselves. They can't go and just say, hey, look, we want to go to Ghana because we've never been to Ghana. They always think there is this sinister agenda that's coming. It's like, bruh, why? No. It's just take it what it is. You're choosing to take that message. You don't have to take that message. I took Black Panther and I enjoyed it. I loved it. I love the languages. I love the casting. They did it perfectly. And I'm choosing to take that from it. You're choosing to take that narrative from it.
Yeah.
And they suited and booted to be stupid.
Why even go see the movie?
They got to decode the agenda. They had to catch the gay scene that everybody was complaining about, and I saw the movie and I couldn't tell you what.
Wait, it was less than a second when the two Dora Milajes, when they said they were together. She's like, "Oh, thank you, my love."
Oh my God!
Yeah, you had a whole portion. You had a whole portion of the movie cut out in other countries because of that.
I'm literally getting the brain aneurysm. I might have to call EMS.
I'm surprised that they're not more. I haven't seen more people talking about it because when I saw it, I was like, first of all, it was so tastefully done. It was so tastefully done that if she could have just been talking to her sister, it didn't even have to be that, because when I'm around my sisters, I say stuff like that to them. Like my physical sister.
Yeah, I'm in the movies. I'm like, where this gay scene at? I ain't see shit. Wasn't nobody banging? Wasn't nobody like tonguing in? Like there was no scene.
There was gay people in the Women King. Why? And people weren't mad. People weren't like. People just watch a movie because it's what movie.
I'm getting an aneurysm.
I'm telling you.
I can literally feel it in my brain.
We like to harp on the dumbest things. And it's amazing to me how that happened.
Oh,
nobody's talking about the fact that when T'Challa was sick, he was traveling to Haiti to go visit his family. Nobody's talking about the fact that he's still in his illness, wrapped in his illness. Nobody but his mother knew that he was going to Haiti to be a father to his son. Nobody's talking about the fact that it had to be kept a secret because he wanted to protect his son. He was being a great father by doing that. Nobody's talking about any of that. The things that were in the movie that mean something, y'all completely missed because y'all looking for negative things.
Oh, God.
And my thing is, too, on top of it, like, you even had people that were downgrading T'Challa's son. How going forward he'll be raised by his auntie and a single mother.
Oh, God.
But that's not the kid's. But his
dad died. What was he supposed to happen?
It's not his choice.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, that's it. I'm calling 911. I am calling 911 just for my own safety.
What? His dad died. What was he supposed to do?
They said this is sad for the son because how he's gonna be raised by his auntie who can't fight, and she's the Black Panther. I'm like, she helped made those suits.
Wait. She can't fight, but she
whoa. They said that he was going to be raised by his auntie. He's even raised by his mother.
His auntie and a single mother, right? His mother too. That's what they were saying. And like the auntie being the Black Panther.
Where did they get that she was going to raise him? Where did they get that from?
I don't know. They just made this prediction.
They just making these things up.
And then they're saying that Shuri can't fight. I was like, y'all just literally saw her almost killed no more.
No one else would have been able to even harm him.
Built the suits.
She snatched his little fin off. I don't like what are you talking about?
She could have killed him.
She could have definitely killed him.
I was like, you mean to tell me all those years of being with the Black Panther, you didn't think she learned something from him? And that's your brother?
She almost had a great piece of mahi up in that joint, and what? Man. What are we doing here? Like I said, people love being negative. They love being negative about anything.
Literally.
And it was an amazing movie.
Can we talk about the fight scene on the bridge?
Ooh.
Oh
my goodness.
Did she not do her thing?
Oh my goodness.
That was gold.
That
was gold.
And it was the relationships. It really, really was the relationships that they just kept they were so rich. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm telling y'all, that scene when Okoye came back and she didn't have Shuri with her. Oh my God. I was like, oh no. I'm like, come on, don't do this. I said, what?
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I said, oh, man, I hope she don't go back to Wakanda without her.
Right.
Because that's going to be a problem.
I would have stayed and tried to find her myself. I wouldn't have went back because that conversation was tough.
Okoye did her thing. I mean, she tried her best, too. Like, I love that fight scene when she went against the Talokins and Shuri was down, and then Ironheart was also down. That was one of my favorites. And then the second time too, when they fought on the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I love that action. And also, like, not only just that, but also the supporting cast. I didn't know if y'all knew this, but Kamaru Usman. He's a UFC fighter.
Yeah, I noticed him.
No,
I noticed him.
When I saw him on there, I was like, wow, that is amazing because he is, I believe he's Nigerian, and he gotten the nickname Nigerian Nightmare, for like just winning fights in the UFC, and then like the country will like give him that nickname. But yeah, seeing him there, I was like, wow, that is amazing.
Did you recognize him, Salima?
No.
He was the guy who Mbako challenged in the beginning. We said, "What were these guys doing?" That was
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've been thinking, and I want to add to my arsenal. I think I'm going to learn how to fight with a spear.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, hell no.
I think I want to add that to my arsenal.
I had to think about that for me. Oh, no.
I'm just saying, if you stay on my good side, you'll never see those things.
No.
But we know that you never stay on my good side. So, yes.
Yeah, my name is my name says something. He said, let me put it up on the screen.
He said, I heard that theory. They forgot all about Disney movies where the father is dead or the mother is dead. In some cases, both parents are dead.
Always.
Batman.
Always.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
That's always the case.
Bruce Wayne was raised by the butler.
Right. Even with what is his name? Iron Man. His dad died as well. He that's why he was the way he was. So, I mean, Spider-Man's parents are dead as well. Hell, his uncle died as well. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And Spider-Man was raised by his grandmother or his aunt or whatever. All of this is stupid. All of these talking points are just dumb, and they don't make any sense in the context that they're trying to make them valid. First of all, it's a movie.
Thank you, Selena.
It's a movie.
Yeah, but you notice like it's only ever like black movies. They gotta like extract and detract and decode and the moon and the stars and shit. When it's white movies, these motherfuckers are nowhere to be found to try and decode this and do that. They just go see the movie, yak it up, ha ha ha. Is a black movie? Oh shit! You see that nigga? You saw the sideways L on his chest and the white man and the two women they love each other. So that the women taking over. Like when it comes to black anything, these same Negroes always decompile it.
And you know what, Mr. Wilson? Out of all the decoding and all the analyzing, none of them come to the conclusion that we need to have our own shit. That's the funny part to me.
No, that's too positive. We all gotta dress like the Black Panther and leap over to the fucking Congo and start kicking niggas in the nuts and shit. But
And look, how about?
I need to know. No, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut anybody off.
No, go ahead.
I need to know who is going over to the Congo right now to do something.
Well, he is. That's why he had to leave.
Yeah, he must be going over there right now. Him and his children.
You can't see him get changed in the phone booth.
He's on his way.
Guess what? As rich as the Congo is, I'm not going over there to be like, listen, give me your shit.
How about we decode the fact that in the United Nations scene, when they brought the capturers who was trying to steal the vibranium,
my God.
How about we decode Okoye had them, the intruders, bend the knee?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And guess what? They did. Nobody can save them.
The knee, and the French diplomat, she just put her head down, like, oh shit, they know who we are. Like y'all just breaking into stuff. Right. But they punks because they just allowed them to go and get that vibranium. No, they corrected.
But you know what that is, Salima? What it is that people is all their lens is through the lens of the Black American.
Yep,
that's their lens.
Yeah. So
they can't see. So that's why if they see Taliban, they're like, oh shit, they're gonna form a coalition. They're gonna take over Wakanda. Why? Because that's what happens to their movements in America.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't control shit. And when they get involved in these movements and these causes, everybody else benefits from it except them. So what do? They project that onto Wakanda.
Yep.
Wakanda is not a weak nation.
And
if you knew anything about the comics, this dude, you know the guy on what's his name? I think his name is Comics Explains.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
Rob
You ever seen him? Rob from Comics Explains. He said the best line I've heard so far. He said, "Wakanda is where bad guys go to die."
Yes.
That's how powerful Wakanda is within the MCU.
There's a video because they at one point they did cartoons of the comic, and they came there and they the people, the Americans was like, we take, you gonna be part of the UN and you just gonna deal with it. And he was like, yeah, all right. And they never went back. Like, you think that Wakanda was able to survive as long as it was if they was punks? No, that's not the case.
But that shows you that how they see black folks.
That's what I said, is because of the way that they think of black people. They don't love and respect black people. They don't think that we can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they pretend, or it actually in their warped minds, they're doing what they're supposed to do.
As a matter of fact, he ain't going back to the Congo. You know what he was getting off the screen to do?
What?
Bend the knee.
Bend the knee.
Because the white man is too powerful. He's everywhere. He's in the movies. He's in the credits.
Underrated say cupbearer.
Where the cupbearer?
Oysters, clams, and cockles.
Oh gosh.
How much for your cockle?
Oysters, clams, and cockles.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, like T'Challa's son is going to be more than just fine.
T'Challa's son is going to be freaking amazing. I can't wait to see who they get to play.
I was like, that's the part that I really like, because the way that they did it, it just made sense. It's he was King T'Challa, and his son is Prince T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Just like in the comics.
Yep.
So there will always be a Prince T'Challa so they're gonna recast, of course, but they just people just get so amped up. It's like, I trust creators. I'm a creative person. I'm a writer, and I'm used to being around creators. And one of the things that pisses me off with people is, if somebody takes the time out to do something, let them fucking do it. Let them do it. Now, after they do it, you can judge the body and see, all right, well, this didn't work for me, whatever. But I always accept what the person is doing as an artist. You know what I mean?
Right.
They create that piece of art. Let them create it the way that they want to create it, and then you view it and take from it what you will.
But this is the thing: if you don't know where this particular thing is drawing from, meaning you've never read the comics. Mm-hmm. You don't know anything about Black Panther other than the first movie, which is why you're so stuck on Chadwick Boseman and T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't understand you don't know what the evolution of this character or this place of Wakanda is going to be,
right?
Because you're ignorant,
right?
And
their fucking heads would explode if they found out that Wakanda lost his vibranium.
Right. That's what I'm. This is the thing that I'm saying. Like, why do we have this? People are so small-minded, and if you're going to keep talking about something, learn.
And you know what? This goes back to the talking point we had about leadership, where I remember Hollop, you were talking about how, as Black people, we always point to one person as the leader. Like, this is our guy. But when you see in the movie of Wakanda Forever, obviously it was heartbroken when T'Challa died.
Mm-hmm.
But the train does not stop.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that they're weak at all. Wakanda still lives. Mm-hmm. And it's still going to keep going, with or without T'Challa. I mean, obviously they will want him alive, but
and proof of that is when they caught the French.
Exactly.
Because they have been attacking from if you're listening to the dialogue, they have been trying to attack their mining plants for since T'Challa died. So they were trying to use the fact that their king just died to steal their vibranium. Mm-hmm. So if they're able to, they're thwarting all of these attacks left and right, there's nothing weak about that. There's nothing weak about that. If she came here to say, if y'all don't leave us alone, then we're going to respond in kind.
And her letting him live wasn't a sign of weakness.
No,
it was strategic.
It was definitely strategic.
And it sucks that out of that scene, or just out of the fact that, T'Challa died, they're thinking that, oh my gosh, this is an agenda. Now that Shuri's the Black Panther. It's like, how about the fact that they didn't just give up, or they didn't even, they're still they're still the strongest power in the world. Like, come on. It's
because they ignore everything else and extrapolate the stupidest shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like in the bend the knee live we did, I said everything these idiots don't understand turns into a revelation. They don't understand shit about the Black Panther, so they gotta put the manosphere stupidity in it. Yeah. Oh God, there's a black woman ahead of something that's just like America. They everything's gonna fail. Like, it's like, shut the fuck up and watch the movie.
They superimpose their stupid ass ideology on everything instead of just looking at it for what it is. I saw the movie when I went to see it. I wasn't going there to get some socioeconomic, political messages. I was going there to see a movie and be with my friends. That's what my motivation was.
When I told people I went to go see the movie, and people came from Oregon, and they was like, just to see, it was of course to see the movie, but we wanted to be around one another.
Right.
And when you think about the way that Black people in America are portrayed, there should have been 3 fights.
Right.
Somebody slept with somebody else's woman. It should have been so many things that happened that just did not happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that trip right there in itself, it destroyed a whole bunch of stereotypes with Black people.
Right.
So if we're gonna get anything out of, like, I got so much, the love was amazing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I met people that I just wanted to just meet and just vibe with. I got to reconnect with friends that I've known for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And some that I met, a year ago. It was amazing that we were able to just sit down and close out a restaurant, they just let us stand there and talk.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And it had nothing to do with it. Nobody was like, oh my God, it's 20-something Black people in here just standing around talking. Those people just let us do what we was doing, because we didn't come in there loud. We were laughing and joking. We were having a good time. And that's what I got out of that weekend. Like, the movie was freaking amazing, and I got to just love my people.
Right.
Even though
at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Jabari made me sit next to underrated. Emotion came and said, Salima, how did
that is your son, so I had to make sure you sat next to him.
Jabari,
nah. Gonna have a bad time.
Emotion got there. Emotion looked at us. He said, Salima, how did this happen? I said, it was Jabari. Jabari did this to me. And
I'm happy. Like I said, I got a chance to meet Jabari for the first time.
Yes.
Physically. That was cool.
Yes. We had so much fun. Like, that movie is going to have so much. Every time I see it, I'm going to have so many amazing feelings behind that movie because the way that we did it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, it was great. It was great. I just enjoyed my time with y'all. It was freaking amazing.
It was too short.
It really was too short.
I wish that we had a week to do it. That would have been cool.
Man, we could have did everything in a week. We would have. That would have been fun. Yeah. It was a great time. It was a great time. We just enjoyed one another, and that's what we need to be focusing on. And even though the situation that Black people are in, when we need to definitely get our shit together, have our own nation, we need to make sure that we are focusing on that. But we can't be serious all the time. It cannot be that the only thing we're focusing on is building. We're going to be angry, evil people if we do that. We have to have some type of downtime, some fun. What's the sense in having a nation if we have a nation that we don't enjoy?
Right.
See, well, that's the reason. Like that guy right there, I'm glad he came on because that represents. I've been around those guys all of my life, man. I know them like the back of my freaking hand, and they don't have the ability to do what we do.
No,
they just don't. They don't have the ability. That's why a lot of black people are turned off by the conscious community because they don't know. They're not personable.
Right.
They don't. You don't have to be some fucking scholar to be involved in nationhood. You could be a regular person.
And here's the thing. Here's another thing. The conscious community isn't concerned about how to run things. They will say, "Oh, we need to do this, that, and the third." It doesn't matter if you own it if you can't run it.
Right.
You own a league, but you don't know how to run the league. Inevitably, the league's going to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
We care about running things. And what does that mean? Having fun, enjoying it. You got to love what you got to do. I love talking about Liberia. I just was on a live stream on Focus on Liberia last night. And we were having the time of our life. But that's what it's got to be. You have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
We have fun. We're not always here, angry and vicious or upset. We have these conversations. We talk about movies. We talk about sports. We talk about sports all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Weather. I like talking about weather, planets.
Yeah. I'm always giving a thumbs down whenever the Celtics win a game.
I'm happy my Pacers are doing well.
Deontay had to be blowing up.
Deontay.
I'm happy. I'm just also happy the Packers are fumbling as well. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah. I wish we could get the Wood on here. Is he too busy to jump on?
I know
Let me know if you need the link.
You need a link, brother? I'll send it to you.
You need to get his voice because I know he saw the picture. He wants to say some stuff about it.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what I was inspired by too from the movie. Not even just more so the theme, but like just the small details. The more that I look at Wakanda and those scenes where people are just having a great time, people are getting food, one another, having small conversations. That to me just makes me happy, and it makes me, just hopeful and just believing, making, Liberia into what it should be, what it could be, what it can be, because those things matter, like just being around one another, the vibes that we had at the restaurant, and also seeing it from the movie, like it really put a smile on my face.
And the fact that they right off the water, it's just so it was
right.
I was like, yes, I felt the same exactly. Like, wow, look at
African scientists. I mean, like just coming up with, and then they playing the Afro beats while they're working too.
Yes,
I want to work for Wakanda. Shit. Where's the application?
So
you mean to tell me y'all didn't take away from that they were emulating the European political systems?
No.
Wow. It was so striking to me.
You know what, Wakanda, you know what Black Panther, you know what Black Panther inspired me to do? Black Panther inspired me to want to produce something like that myself. Produce a black superhero like movie or something similar dealing with black mythology. It made, man, I want to write something like that too. That's what I got from it. I was excited. I was like, man, I want to do something like this.
Yeah.
Okay, we all got to fall back because Big Dawood is in the house. We got to fall back and let him rock.
Oysters, clams, and cockles.
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
Hey, brother, how are you?
I'm great. How y'all doing?
Oh, we doing good, man.
Doing a lot better now.
I love the wave y'all riding. I really, really wish I would have been there. It's like it sounds like it was incredible.
It would have been.
Oh, that would have been like crazy. You mad that you got that wood there?
Because I remember years ago we did the meetup in New York City. That was great too, but nothing compared to what it seems like this was. I don't know.
exactly all that y'all said, but I was riding some of the way for the last 15 minutes. But to me, what I still think is crazy, and I think that Olive and as well as Brian alluded to it, is that people came in this and imposed their talking points on something that was so beautiful that I have no idea how y'all could have did that. Like, you know what I mean? Like we got to see two different nations. We got to see a black nation and we got to see a brown, like Spanish nation. And all y'all niggas could do is impose the gender topics on it and stuff like that. Like, I have no idea how you got that.
Yo, Dawood, when they said that T'Challa was going to be raised by a single mother, I almost had an aneurysm.
Yeah, oh my God, bro.
I almost had an aneurysm. I almost had to call 911.
But y'all want to hear something funny? It's not just black people, because the Latinos are having a feud now as well. Did y'all know
yeah, I heard about that.
They're having a feud because they wanted Neymar to be played by like a white Latino person.
Right.
And there's also a thing where the Aztec people or the Mayans or their descendants are saying, don't call them Latino. They're not Latino. There's like, and it's this, all of this from a freaking movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard from the people who are authentic with that culture.
A movie.
They said that movie actually did more justice than the movies that the Mexicans would have made.
Yes.
They said it did more justice to the culture than that. That's a high compliment.
They even used those hand gestures that they were using. Those were actually they're on their relics.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the video today. They're like, those are actual, that, you know, telling the people to rise up. That's what that was. It wasn't, you know, they were very specific in what they did, and they respected that culture. So it was such a respect to them. Yeah. And for people to be turning this into something negative is insane.
Yeah, they turned it into some but what they got, black and brown coalition. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with this movie?
It's crazy. It is so crazy that, and when Spider-Man and Batman and all those other people, you know, when they have their nobody is upset that Iron Man is a complete and total drunk and a horrible human being. They did not take that. They turned that white man into a drunken, womanizing, no moral having white man, and put that onto all white men. At no point did they do that.
Right.
So why does everything that we do, it encompasses all of us? It's like, no. Give me a freaking break. How?
It's what I've said before with other black movements. They're anti-black, but masquerading it as black empowerment.
That's accurate. Dawood, what would you give it as a 1 out of 10 rating?
Shit, I would give it a 9, if not a 9 plus a 10. I mean, I'm in the small camp of people that think that Black Panther 2 is better than Black Panther 1. I really do. I really feel like it was better.
That's not a stretch.
That's not a stretch at all.
Because it was more. I think it was a more in-depth story.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely had more money behind it and more production value. So that's not unusual to think that.
They put a lot of thought into this movie because Chadwick passed away. That the storyline had to be on point. You know, they had to grow it into something other than just Chadwick, or the Black Panther franchise would have just fallen off. And that's not what they want, because that's their money. So they had to make it a way more better. It had to be more spectacular than the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely.
Uh-oh, did we lose him?
Dawood?
Because if you ask me, the one thing that the so-called white Latinos have a problem with this is because they show the oppression.
Right.
They don't want you to ever think that there was any oppression, because it kills their whole Republican leaning that they be having. You know, which is all we got to do is pull up our bootstraps and all this other stuff. So in the movie, when you saw that the Mexicans were being oppressed when he went back to his land, that is a big problem for those freaking code switching Latinos. A big problem. Because they don't want you to think that that shit ever happened. They want you to think that black people are the only ones who had some kind of oppression, and that's not us, and why don't black people get over it? But Ryan Coogler re-injured that wound and lets you know, no. You know what I'm saying? There was, these people everywhere they went, they've been pillaging and robbing. What the fuck is y'all talking about?
And the fact that y'all go along with them means that y'all some sellouts.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
so
you know what?
Go ahead, big bro. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm gonna let you speak to Wood. I want to let you talk, and then I'll get my speech. You got the floor, my man. I'm sorry.
You're on mute, Dawood. If you're speaking.
He's muted?
Yeah, he's on mute.
Oh, yeah, you're on mute. He's probably doing something.
I don't think he really gave the floor.
He thumbs back.
I hit the mute by mistake.
Oh, okay.
I was mad talking. I guess what I'm saying is that for me is that number one, we used to be able to say I trust Marvel, but now I guess we got to say I trust Ryan Coogler.
That's right.
Because anything that he has done has not only been great, but it's just so comprehensive. It's so comprehensive how far he goes to tell a story and the detail that he puts in the movie and the culture that was in it. And I guess number two is that it's exposing the sign of the times now. This is the state of the black movement. The state of the black movement is where we were not all excited to see this movie. Some of us were. Some of us were just sitting on the sideline trying to pick it apart with these brand new talking points that we have, which I consider to be brand new, which is the gender-based stuff. Mm-hmm. Because it clearly shows all of us this is the evolution of the Black Power movement that we all was a part of. Now it's divided by gender. Whereas, you know what I'm saying? In our age, we had one clear enemy. Now we don't even know who the fuck the enemy is.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
I remember back when people was reading Malcolm X, the white man was the devil.
Exactly.
That was the talking point. Now we don't. When the last time you heard that?
Yeah, exactly. Except for Trump.
Yeah.
The devil, except for Trump.
Trump is the devil.
No, I'm saying like according to these black Republicans, he's not the devil. Everybody else is. He just, you know what I'm saying, like knows what he's doing, and he's doing like what the fuck, man. I can't believe we even talking like this.
Yo, Dawood, I wanted to ask you about the scene, the fight scene on the bridge with Okoye.
Okay.
What did you feel about that? Because that was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Bro, I have to see the movie again. Like, I love that fight scene, but there's so many parts of this movie that struck me. Mm-hmm. So I think, to be honest with you, it really wasn't the fighting; it was the dialogue that struck me more.
Right.
Like the fact that what drove me crazy, or not drove me crazy, but what had me really into my thoughts is when Shuri took the genetically modified heart-shaped herb, and the person that she saw was Killmonger. That shit was like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that, and I've tried to figure out a way I want to put this into one of my lives. We don't really know who we are. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who you are. You think you know who you are. And here it is, deep down inside, the last person she thought she was going to see was Killmonger. But that tells you this is who I am. And it's like, I think that all of us, if we was to do a deep dive like that on ourselves, you'd be very surprised who you really are. You'd be very surprised.
So, like, are you saying that with Shuri drinking the herb, like, are you just saying that we all have a Killmonger inside of us, basically?
Hell yeah, I do.
Just hasn't been activated. Bro. Okay.
Well, not only a Killmonger, but some other dark shit that we be trying to get away from.
I'm really normally Killmonger.
Wait, what did you say, Salima?
I'm normally Killmonger, and if anybody else had showed up, I would have killed their ass. What we not doing is that.
Oh, dude.
Word.
But go ahead.
No, I was ready to say is like, I'm 51 years old now, and over the course of my life, I think that my personality has morphed through the various different characters. When I was really young in my 20s, I was definitely Killmonger. When I got older, I think that in my 30s, I was more so Chadwick. Actually, no, I think I was more so Chadwick's dad. And now I think I'm closer to Chadwick himself, as in T'Challa, because I think that I understand that we still need a certain level of protection of the state, but we would have to work with other states. And I'm not saying white people per se, but other black states. And I think that, basically, their father, he was about conserving at that particular time. He didn't want to deal with nobody and want nobody to come in. And basically, he kept everything a secret. But in order to really secure yourself nowadays, because, whenever we do a live stream or a show, somebody jumps in the chat and says, what about China? You know what I'm saying? They say some shit like that. What about China, or what about Russia? And the reality of it is that's a real question. But your mentality in answering the question is wrong, because the real question is, who would we as a nation ally with to ensure protection and ensure trade? And these are the questions I think that what you really need to be asking, instead of asking what about China on some fear-based stuff, like, oh, China's going to do this, China's going to do that, so we might as well not even try.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. That's bullshit.
It's the defeatist mindset.
Right. Exactly.
Which is why we made the knee live stream.
Right.
Like, isn't it funny how like black people are so powerful, but if you work with anybody that's non-black, all of a sudden the black people becomes the bottom instead of
exactly. Exactly.
Because they're thinking, like I said, they're thinking from the perspective and the lens of a black American.
Truth be told.
But what about China?
and let's get to that point, because that's one of the things that Kruger talks about when in the film, when you guys are bringing up with Namor, is the indigenous. These are indigenous people, because people like to treat Mexican, or like, they're like, no, they're indigenous people. These are not the descendants of the conquistadors that are on telenovelas in Mexico all the time. And people have called them out when they said, yo, well, Mexicans, they can have blonde hair and blue eyes too. And the dark-skinned Mexicans was like, conquistadors are the ones who are talking, who own all the telenovelas. They sound like white people. They were using the same, they would say it was reverse racism, because they had Namor represented. They said they're going to start losing jobs. And they said, it should be based off of their talent and not because of their skin color. Using straight white people talking points. I was like, yo. And the indigenous population was like, yeah, y'all are in every telenovela. If you look at telenovelas in Mexico, you think it would be in Europe. You would think it's a Scandinavian country. And he even said that himself, the character that cast Namor. So it's like, again, not being able to understand, okay, we got similar struggles. They're not identical, but it's similar. We can relate to having our culture appropriated and not being represented. I can understand that and still be like, yo, care about my people and my interests. Like, it's like we don't understand, or not us, but people who have that mindset don't understand. Two things can be true. You can have nuance. It's like we don't want to have that conversation because it's going to require us to now have to be realistic.
Right.
But we don't want to have that. We want to live in an imaginary world where black people live in this island and black people don't have to talk to anybody else but other black people. And it's like, we live in the real world. And they say, he told us we need to get in the real world. Well, in the real world, you're going to have to work with non-black people.
But my thing is I'm having a hard time grasping that they even take themselves seriously when you live in America.
Right.
For what stance are you taking this position? You would think that they're taking it from the position of black folks have an independent nation. They're taking it from the perspective of they're actually Wakanda. Like there's a Wakanda in real life that black folks are a part of, and we're trying to have a discussion about who should be our allies. Right. That's nonsensical.
But you know what though, bro? If I may interject, because I gotta bounce, I gotta go do a job with my son. In from what I saw, what I've been seeing, they take the position that as long as I have nationhood in my head, I got nationhood, which is funny as hell. But if you remember, we're on. So in this course of Black Power, you, I, and the people on this conference, we're on course number 10. These people are still on course number 3.5 because they still don't understand, my nigga. If you don't have the land, you don't have no nation. They still with the mentality of all I have to do is think about it. And I can remember, and I must say, years ago, when I would come to the temple, I would salute the flag. They said, when you come through those doors, you are now in your own nation. In America. In America. So therefore, if that's the mentality that we had, I know almost all the other groups had that mentality. When you're inside your headquarters or your base of operations, you're in your own nation. And we, the people on this conference call, we did enough dialogue, studying, and evolution to understand, well, that's kind of bullshit. We all did that. But I think that these people are still on the same grade, which is I got a nation in my own head. So therefore, as long as I'm Black Power, I carry the nation within me, which is a nice little concept and it's cute. But in reality, it doesn't mean shit. And the reason why I say that is because when I be seeing these people comments on social media or whatever, they be like, well, I got a residence in Texas, so I got to make sure that they choose a right-wing president because I'm not with the other shit. And I'm just like, what? Like, are you serious? That's your justification for getting involved in white American politics, is that you have a residence here, which basically means you buy into it. And once I know you buy into it, we don't even need to have a conversation anymore. I have never voted in my life, and I never will. When I became 19 years old, they told me in the nation, politics is for white people. You don't get involved in. And I've never voted. I've never registered to vote. I don't even know what the fuck it looks like going behind the curtain, because I've never believed in American politics, and I never will. And I know that we have friends that do, and I support them, but it's not for me, because I understand that no matter what I do, I'm not getting anywhere closer to having freedom, justice, and equality for myself as long as I pull that lever. Now, integrating with brothers and sisters that are like-minded and some that have skills and abilities, yeah, that is getting me close to nationhood. But trying to make sure Trump don't ever become president again, I could care less about that shit. Because in reality, he gonna come and he's gonna go.
And let me add to your point. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, but I just want to make this point real quick. When you said the point about a nationhood in their heads, I always use this phrase from what my brother said. If you're your own nation, show me your passport. Just show me your passport.
Right. Yep.
So you basically, the Wu saying, you saying they on some special ed shit. They thinking about it?
They got it made.
It's all in the mind, man.
They got it made.
You got land in the sand and the West Indies.
Yep.
The mind, man. It's all in the mind.
Can I jump in?
Oh, absolutely.
Who's talking?
This is Kwasi. How's everybody doing?
Hey.
How are you?
Peace
to the family.
Peace, brother.
Some of you might know me, KM Umpunts on Facebook.
Okay. Got you.
Shout out to Hollop.
Peace.
So I spend a good deal of time traveling throughout these different spaces, and I just want to kind of add a little clarity, I guess, for the brothers and sisters who call themselves, revolutionaries or what have you, socialists, Marxists, or whatever. They're doing these analyses of these films. From my understanding and from what I see is they look at it as if they're fighting. So if they're critiquing a movie or critiquing whatever said politician said, if they're critiquing, Kyrie Irving or Kanye, they look at it as we're waking up the masses and we're fighting, we're giving resistance. This is being a revolutionary. And I came to the conclusion that, this is just an argument for the sake of arguing, literally. These militant integrationist tactics to stay relevant. They have no end game and don't want anything out of what they're doing other than to say that we're doing it. So they need to stay out of this space. And that's why, like I told Hollop, the BAIO has a solution. Everybody else is just fronting.
Basically.
Thank you. Yes.
Resistance is funny to me. Like the fact that they think that they're resisting while they go to Applebee's is just hilarious.
They're just being.
Let me resist after I have this brownie bite. Then I can resist the white man's systems of oppression.
Let's call it what it is. We have a lot of contrarians in the Black community, and we think being a contrarian means that you somehow have a high degree of intellect. Just because you bring up a disagreement, that doesn't make you smart, intellectual, or you have some deep thought. You just sound like a straight buffoon.
Pretty much. See, we look at these situations that everybody is getting all upset about, like Kyrie Irving and Kanye, and we look at it for what it is. You're a slave in your master system. Get in line, nigga. Bend the knee. Why are you pretending like you some revolution or pretending that you want black power? You want to live in this man's system, make money off of him, and have a better existence in his infrastructure. So you know what comes with that? It's just like a child in their parents' house. It's your parents' house. If they tell you that there's a curfew, get your ass in the house by 10 p.m. If you don't want that, get your own house. So you don't expect me to feel no sorry. I'm not feeling sorry for no goddamn Kanye. I don't feel sorry for Kyrie. I don't get sorry for none of these Negroes.
I don't either.
If you're really serious about black power, then you be with us. You be talking about black power. You be talking about having our own nation and supporting Liberia and embracing that and reclaiming it. But what you're doing is you fronting. Basically, you just fronting. And that's why you're on the list.
Oh yeah,
you're on the list. You're on the list to holler.
Congo.
The Congo. We having a discussion about things that we don't have no control over on a political level. There are people there's a government there that can make decisions.
Thank you.
What about what's the country? Is it Uganda that just recently had some gold mine worth $1 trillion something or whatever?
Uganda,
yeah.
Like, so who can take care or control of that situation? Wouldn't it be the Ugandan government?
Yes.
So what is this we shit? These people love abstractions. Do you notice that? They love the vague and the abstract.
And you know, let's talk about the Congo for a second, because he didn't want to bring this up. He talks about, the Congo's being destabilized in the puppet government. Really, if the current government was a puppet government, why would the Congo ask Kenya to send troops to the region and Kenya sent troops to the region if they were a puppet of the West? So you're asking another African country to come help and assist you. But they're puppets. They're getting their strings pulled. Because
Jabari, they can only see things from their lens, which is the lens of America. And in America, black folks don't have no power. So any interaction that we have with another group is automatically, oh God, this group is going to take over. Oh, our interests are not going to be met. Well, no kidding, nigga. No kidding. When are you going to finally figure out what the hell is going on? We've been doing this for almost 500 years and y'all still ain't figured this shit out?
Shaking my head.
We should after Black Panther came out, we should have like over hundreds of thousands of BAIO members.
Literally.
But nobody's even talking about nationhood except us. Even in the so-called black circles, who is talking about it? Who is talking about black people having their own independent nation? Who?
Nobody.
Case in point. Hebrews to Negroes is the #1 bestseller on Amazon. This is what black folks are spending their time.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
Hebrews to Negroes is the #1 best-selling book on Amazon. It was the #1 best-selling movie. And this is what black folks were spending their time on doing.
I am not surprised by that. Consider how much energy motherfuckers are putting behind Kyrie Irving, even though he's rich and he'll be fine. You got to stand with Kyrie. We can't take it from these Jews anymore, even though you go in and clock in for a Jew every goddamn day.
Yeah.
But we gotta stand with
rent
Kyrie.
to a Jew, probably.
That too.
This is some shit.
Bend the knee. Bend the knee. That's what needs to happen. Bend the fucking knee. Why are you guys pretending like you fighting these people? You already admit that the white man is everywhere. I keep hearing this. The white man is everywhere. No matter, even Tariq Nasheed said, no matter where you go, all we're going to do is just come and take the resources. So what are we supposed to do? Bend the knee. That's what you're supposed to do, nigga. You are admitting that you are inferior to someone. So then what is the fight? What exactly is the fight that we're having? Can somebody explain that to me? For all of these motherfuckers that think that the white man is God, the white man has all the infinity stones, he can control reality. No matter where you go, he can take over your shit. Since you believe that, why are you fighting this man?
Right.
I really wish somebody would explain that to me. What are you fighting against? You're fighting against an unbeatable opponent? Could you imagine what the Avengers Endgame would have been like had the Avengers just said, man, Thanos is too fucking strong. What the fuck are we even fighting him for? Movie would have been 5 minutes. Oh, shit, he got the gauntlet. Let's go home. That's what would happen if these niggas had wrote the movie.
It wouldn't even got that far with the gauntlet. They would have saw the Hulk get fucked up and said, well, fuck it.
Yeah. Oh,
If
shit.
the Hulk got
Let's
bitch
get the
smacked,
fuck out of here.
I'm going to take off the super suit real quick.
I really, really seriously want to know, why are these black people fighting this white man? And nobody, you notice I had 0 comments on that last video.
The live stream, right?
Yes, 0.
None.
Nobody has nothing to fucking say.
Nothing at all.
Come on this live stream and challenge. Why are you fighting against a man that you consider to be your superior? If he's your superior, then you should be underneath him and listening to him and following him. Why are you fighting him? The only way you can fight somebody is if you actually believe that you can beat him.
Right.
Right? Then what the fuck? Like, what do you usually go out picking fights with people that can whoop your ass?
No.
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 You usually fight people because you feel that you can win. So why are these Black Power Americans, why are these militant integrationists, these Captain American Negroes, why are they fighting and giving this white man such a hard time that they believe out of their own mouths is superior to them?
Exactly. We got some comments in the comment section. Shout out to Ronan first off. He said, these deep individuals have the power to continue the nobility of constantly struggling under the conqueror. I definitely agree with that.
Nothing more noble than that.
Baruti comes in and says, a nation in conception can be cultural. However, having a country as in a physical landmass geospace is a different matter. A country is certainly a matter of concern. And then we have Black Unma or Anma, I'm not sure, but he says the Amexum Moor Empire have been talking about building a nation per se for years. Really?
Why hasn't that happened? Where's the nation going to be? I'm not being funny. Actually, I'm just asking a serious.
I never heard of them either. I never.
Can I answer that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
They're saying they need more of us to claim our Moorish identity.
Okay, so I guess that ain't gonna be happening.
Oh, wow.
Did I tell y'all I had there was a dude that was a Moor who told me that if Black people claim their Moorish identity, that the white man has to give up America.
What? Hollop, stop the cap.
No, I wish that I was joking. He said that. I said, wait a minute. You're saying that all we have to do is just claim ourselves as Moor, and the white man gonna go, god damn it, they figured it out. Shit. Where the fuck we gonna go now? Now we got to give him the government. Shit. How'd they figure it out? He was serious. He was serious. And I said, you know what, son? I think this conversation is over.
Right. It's true. That's how they say. We're losing because we won't claim our Moorish identity. and take the land.
What the hell?
But we don't even have to take it. The white man has to give it to us because we figured it out. So there's not even going to be no war or anything. The white man just literally has to give up his power because we figured out that we're Moors. And he believed that.
True.
I had to ask him a couple of times to make sure, are you saying what I think you're saying? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, then, I think I got to go.
I think I got to go.
Yeah, I got a plane to catch.
I'm glad you stressed that part, because that is like the pivotal part, is like the reason they won't hand it back over to us or give us our quote unquote rights is because we won't claim them. That's just crazy.
Yeah. Because could you imagine if that was actually true? I'd be a Moor right now. I'm claiming my Moorish heritage right now.
So next time,
if that was actually true, that's a no-brainer. Oh, you mean that's all we got to do? Oh, no problem. Black folks, you are Moors. White man, hand me the keys. I know you pissed off, but you got to go. I hope you get good luck finding another place to send your. Well, how many white people is in America?
At least 196 million.
100. Yeah, good luck finding 196 million of your people a new spot to go to.
So the next time we do our taxes, we gotta put down I'm a Moors again.
No, I gotta say this though. This speaking of the Moorish, we're Moors, right? You know what people the history behind that movement, right? People were saying they were Moors because they believed African Americans were the descendants of the Moroccan Empire, that we are Moroccans. So if we are to reclaim our Moorish heritage, why aren't we appealing to the Moroccan government? Why don't I see y'all in Casablanca or I see y'all in Rabat speaking to the king of Morocco that we are the true descendants of the Moroccan people and we should be given Moroccan citizenship?
I can answer that question in a kind of long-winded way, but I'll get to it. In America, we have the Nation of Islam, right?
Right.
We got the Nation of Gods and Earth. We got the Hebrew Israelites. We used to, I don't know what they call it. I think it's Nuwapians, they call them now. They used to be the Ansar Allah Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
We have certain groups that claim to be Native American. We have all of these groups, right?
Right.
Now, underrated, I'm going to use you as an example. Do you know that you can be in all of those groups?
Really?
You can literally be in one for a month, leave that one, go to the other one for a month, leave that one, and you can go through all of those groups and be a member of them. You know why?
Why?
Because there's no DNA test. The only requirement that makes you a Native American is if you believe in the same bullshit that they believe in. Nobody asked for a DNA test. We're the original Hebrews. Where's the DNA test? We're the original Native Americans. Where's it? Don't you want to confirm that the people that's actually in your group are Native American?
Right.
No. All it requires is if you give them money and if you believe in the same shit that they're talking about. That's all. That's your entry into all of these groups. What does that tell you? I mean, we're all thinking it. Just say it out loud. And I'm going to address what Black Umar. I want him to be, because I'm not being hostile and I'm not being disrespectful. What I said is actually true. I spoke to this brother who was a Moor, and he said that if we acknowledge ourselves as Moors, the white man has to hand this country over to us. Is that disparaging by me saying that? Am I disparaging the Moors or disparaging his brother by saying this is out of his own mouth? And I asked him to repeat it 2 or 3 times because I couldn't believe it. He said that's all that has to happen is that we have to acknowledge ourselves as Moors, and the white man has to give the country back to us.
Right.
Now, like he said, there are many different groups of Moors, and I agree with you. But let's focus on that group. Is that not batshit insane and crazy? Yes or no? Because we gotta have some common ground here.
So
if the talk about that and call that batshit crazy is disparaging, then we are never going to be on the same page. Can we at least admit that that's crazy?
Mm-hmm.
No, I know it's not the group you brought up. I'm asking you, is it crazy to say that? Yes or no? Throw me a bone, please, God, for the love of God. Is that crazy? Or am I crazy for saying it is crazy? And I never said that this was all Moors. I'm talking about the Moor that I was talking to.
Oh, we're not accusing you of being. What we're just saying is, listen, we're not saying you're tied to the group. But what we were just saying is just those who say they want a nation but are not doing it. And one of the things is when we talk about these groups is it's hard to call these your brothers when they don't even accept the basic premise of identity of you.
Are you an African?
I mean, that's based. Like, do you see yourself as an African? Because if not, I mean, we can be friends. Like, I'm willing to talk to you, but I'm not going to do any like major moves with you because you don't even believe in the same basic identity as me.
That's a good point, Jabari. I'm glad you brought that up because I live in New York. I know dudes as 5%ers. I know dudes as Ansar Allah Muslims. I know dudes as Christians. I have friends with all of those groups. So just because you believe in an ideology, that doesn't mean that you can't be my friend or we can't be brothers. I don't look at you as a brother. But when it comes to organizing and moving, you have to move with people of like mind.
Yeah.
If we have all of those people, because that was the argument that one of these cats, I forget his name, but was in a group and was trying to push that on us, that we have to bring all these different groups into our situation on what we're trying to do. Every day would be a fucking battle royale. So my thing is, if you believe that you're Native American, if you believe that you're Moor, if you believe that you're anything other than African, then do your thing. We'll see you at the finish line. But on this, what we're doing, we're focusing on Liberia and we're focusing on our nation state and our base of operations. The homeland for the diaspora African. That's what we're focusing on. So if you're not a part of that or you don't want to deal with that, then I really don't understand why people are even concerned about what we're doing. Because if like the people that's doing this whole Native American thing, I have no problem with them. Zero problems with them. The only problem I have is when they try to inject themselves into our circle. Same thing with anybody, any other ideology. I have no problem with you existing. I have no problem with you having a movement. Why are you in our shit? That's my question. If you don't believe in what we believe in, why are you around us? Is that a logical question? Is that a sensible question for me to ask? Why? Why are you around groups that you don't believe in nothing that they believe in? We're saying we're focusing on Liberia. We have a history with Liberia. Our ancestors helped establish Liberia. So that's what we're going to focus on. That's what we want to make better for everybody, for Liberians on the ground, for African Americans, and for African diasporans. Everybody. That's our goal. And if you don't believe in that goal, why are you in our circles? This is not some vague, ambiguous Black power group. We know exactly what we're about. Our ideology is land, infrastructure, and nationhood. We are not some vague abstraction, which is what the conscious community loves, the vague and loves the abstract. They love it where because if it's vague and it's abstract, there's nobody that's responsible for anything.
Mm-hmm. It's just in the air.
Yeah. That's why you have all these self-appointed leaders and all this other dumb shit.
Yeah.
There's no structure. There's no organization. We want our own government. creating policy in our nation over a piece of territory that we can control. We want to control the roads. We want to control the highways. We want to control the airports. We want to control the seaports. We want to control the power grid. We don't want to live off the grid because we want to control the grid. So if anybody agrees with that, welcome into the fold. Oh, but Rudy's asking a question.
Why are there so many Black identity groups? Is the historical record just that confusing in reference to the fact that Africans were forcibly transported to Zungu-controlled geospaces?
No. Go ahead, Jabari. I'm gonna let you handle that.
No, there's not this historical record, but the reason why there's so many Black identity groups is because we have in the Black community, let's call it anti-Blackness masquerading as Black empowerment. So what does that mean? We want to deny being African however hard we can. So we'll say I'm a Moor, we'll say I'm a Hebrew Israelite, we'll say that, we will all admit we are Black, but we will never say we're African. And that is a level of anti-African Afrophobia that is rampant in the community, which is why there's so many Black identity groups. They don't want us to acknowledge the basic premise. We are African people. We are the descendants of West, Central, and to a certain degree, Southeast Africans. That's who we are. And they are able to rise because a lot of people don't want to accept that. They want to distance themselves from Africa as far as they can.
And I go so far as to say this. Let's say that I do believe these people are genuine in their belief that they're Native American. You know what I would do? I would denounce it and claim myself as African. You know why? Because what are the chances of you retaking America compared to the chances of you going over to a place like Liberia that's ripe for building and growth?
Right.
If I had to pick, which one do you think I pick?
So I'm thinking Africa.
Yeah, I just say I'm not Native American. I'm African. Let's go to Liberia. I would just reject
it. Remember that clause in the Liberian Constitution?
Yeah,
I'll handle that.
That's what I did. That's what my sisters and I did. We have proof. My aunt has my great grandfather's, or how many greats that is, his Indian number, because they have a number. And I remember when I was a kid, they were saying how they were going to use his number so that they didn't have to pay taxes. So I've never inquired about it. It's not my business. I'm not, when they look at me, nobody looks at me and says that's a Native American woman. That's a Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
So what is an African woman? What is the benefit to me, to even claim that? There's none. So we can go ahead and we can pretend or take whatever ancestry DNA test you want to take and do all that you want to do, but the indigenous people to the United States, or to the Americas, as they call it, they have almost all been a blip. Like they're almost non-existent anymore.
Great point.
So they're not taking over nothing.
No, exactly.
What did you say, Jabari? You said it's about 196 million white people in America.
Yes.
There you go.
I want y'all. And I want to add to that point about the natives, right? Because one of our members brought up a good point. Notice how they claim to be Native Americans, right? Notice they never say we're indigenous to Alaska, we're indigenous to Canada, we're indigenous to South America. They specifically point to the places where there was a large influx of African people to say we're Native American.
Wow,
and Alaska has the highest population of natives than any state in America.
That is interesting. I asked that question before. Why is it that Native Americans are suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome? Why are they going through the same symptoms of post-traumatic slave syndrome as African slaves did? That's interesting.
Right.
How come when you watch that movie Prey, you didn't put it on Comanche? Isn't that your native language?
That's right.
How did you lose your native language in the same country of your origin? Is there a group in China that can't speak Chinese?
Nope.
No.
That's indigenous to China, but lost their Chinese language. How do you get around that?
That's crazy.
Oh, let's add this. Let's tie this back into the movie. If y'all were Native Americans, why is Namor looking the way he looks if he was Native American? Why is he not T'Challa?
These are questions that I think deserve a legitimate answer.
You said we were the real Olmecs and Mayans. Remember, you said those were your ancestors on the Mayan walls. So why is the civilization portrayed in Black Panther completely different than what you claim you are?
I got a question. Quick question. I didn't see the movie, but for those who did, does it look like there might be a setup for a Neymar movie in the future?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah, it was open. It was left open for that.
Yeah, and I don't think that they would be introducing like new characters like Neymar if they were just going to leave him in that one movie.
Now, next question. If they do come through with the Neymar movie, does it look like it may go into some indigenous Native American history and culture? And I'd be stunned to see how many of these Black indigenous folk are going to be upset when they see that.
Oh, they went in. They were doing in the movie. It was based off the Mayan civilization. The whole the movie was based. One of the characters was based off the Mayan civilization. They were speaking the Mayan language.
I mean, they went into a little bit of the Mayan culture and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So it would definitely be heavy if they did a movie about Neymar. I think that they would just elaborate on that culture.
So are any of the Negroes in the movie theater complaining about how their culture got stolen from them?
Not one. Everybody applauded at the end.
Yeah.
Not a one.
The only people that was going into a Tasmanian fit were the people online. I've often, that's the question that nobody's been able to answer for me. How did you lose your language in your indigenous land? How did that happen? Because I can understand the Africans losing their language because they went to a completely different place.
Right.
So that makes sense. What's your excuse?
Also, here's another question. If you are indigenous to America, how were you in slavery for so long? Because if you're indigenous to America, you know the landscape. So you should easily be able to run off the plantations and find your way around North America.
It is your land. But they're never going to answer. Just like I said, that last video I did, Bend the Knee, no comments. Bend the Knee. No comments. Because what other counterpoint can you possibly have? You're going to have to fall either on our side or on the Bend the Knee side. There's no wiggle room.
There's no gray area.
Olive, haven't I said that exact same thing? Haven't I said that exact same? Like, listen, if Africa ain't the only way, if it's not the solution, then what we going to assimilate?
Assimilate.
There's no in between. Either we going to do it or we going to assimilate. Because I'm not going to be sitting here fighting America 24/7. No, I will gladly assimilate. I will gladly go into American society. And hey, It is what it is.
Exactly. It would make your life a lot easier on you if you do that. Just trying to form some non-existent resistance. It's like I said, it's like a prostitute, challenging her pimp. Like what that relationship is, what it is. Get out on them streets and make that man his money. What the fuck? What are you fighting against him for? You a hoe.
Shut it, underrated.
I mean, am I lying? I mean, isn't that what it is? You
just be the cupbearer.
Trying to give him a hard time. This is the dude that he's got you out on those streets, prettied you up, brought all the clothes you wearing, and fix your hair and nails. Get out there and make that man his money.
And do it with pride too.
Right. With pride. Be proud that that's your daddy. See, this is the stuff this is why they hate Hollop, man. They hate Hollop with a passion. Because I'm not going to let you sit on the fucking fence. I take this stuff. I've been involved in this stuff all of my life, basically. But the majority of my life, I take it very serious. Unlike the dude that was on here talking about he take it seriously. Fuck that. I take it seriously. And I don't like pretend nationalists. I don't like people playing with black power. Mm-hmm. Either we're going to do this shit or we not going to do it. Everybody want to be revolutionary when a fucking movie come out. Now you want to break shit down and decode and be Mr. Pro-Black man because of a fucking movie?
It always happens. It always happens when a movie comes out and then all of a sudden now the conversations stir up. Not nationhood, but just Black power. It always happens.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden, because why? You know what it is? I read this before, and I forget what book I had read, but he said that there's only two type of people in this world. There's people that's doing shit and the people that's talking about what other people are doing. Mm. Ryan Coogler is doing something. And what are these people doing? Talking about what he's doing. Because they ain't doing shit on their own. They're not involved in nothing. And they're going to create a desert wasteland for their offspring. Which they don't fucking care about, because if they did, they would be thinking about the future.
Nope.
I would imagine that each person on this phone, or on this line, thinks about the future every fucking minute of their life.
Man.
That it consumes us what we think, because we think about where the fuck is my people going to be at in the future. That's what we think about all the time.
That shit goes into my dreams sometimes.
But
Absolutely.
apparently that's only us, because the rest of these people don't give a damn about their children and the lives of their children. Because like as Amos Wilson said, your children cannot inherit your job. Are you going to leave something for your children to inherit? Because most of us don't. We work our jobs until we dead, and then our children got to work their jobs until they dead. Where's the generational wealth?
They can't even inherit their misguided anger, because that's what it is. You're angry about something that you are not yourself willing to get up and change.
Right.
So just accept
because you
it.
don't believe that you can win. Well,
Exactly.
If you don't believe that you can win, bend the knee. Bend the knee.
And also, they'll say this. They'll say, well, we care about our children and we want a safe space, but you want them to live in this environment. Y'all want to figure out how can they survive in this environment and say, maybe we should get up out this environment and go somewhere else where our kids can have a better life. They always want to figure out how can we make our kids survive in this place? Like, oh, we need to have the talk, and oh, you can't have your hair like this. And oh, we need to create space here in America, instead of saying, listen, why not just go to a country where this is the default? Why don't have to think about this?
Exactly.
This is what lets me know, because I've said this multiple times, and I'm not being humble. I'm a moron. I am not being humble. I am not that intelligent. How come I know that what creates jobs is industries? Mm-hmm. How do I know that? What industries are you going to create to employ Black people? Is anybody talking about that? jobs. Jobs have to come from somewhere.
Oh,
go ahead.
Let me add to Hollis' point. We have black folks who say we need to own black businesses. We need to own more businesses. How can you own more businesses and control when you don't own the means of production? If you don't own the means of production, you're just a middleman. You may own a business, but you're a middleman.
That's right.
Thank you. And you can't employ hundreds of thousands of your people being a middleman. But you know what you can do? If you control the infrastructure, you can create numerous white collar and blue collar jobs for your people. And I'm not that bright. And I know that. I don't have any advanced education, and I know that. So it's inexcusable why our so-called leadership or the people that's supposed to be representing us don't know it. Why aren't we hearing this from the mountaintops from our so-called leadership? But you're hearing it from me, some dude from Brownsville Projects. Is something not wrong with that? Is it just me? Or is there something not wrong with that? Isn't that crazy?
I think about that too every day.
It is because you had I was watching a video just last night, and one of them leaders in the African countries was like, well, why doesn't the NAACP or any of these black organizations come to the African Union and actually lobby? We would be willing to work with them. Why don't they come and actually lobby? I'm like, because we don't have an agenda. That's why.
Right. The agenda is to suck off the white man. And big him up and let him know that he's God, king and God. He's like Xerxes to us.
And speaking about thinking about this all the time.
Uh-oh, what happened? Jabari?
Shop. You know how they're able to set up shop? They're able to set up shop because, number one, they come as groups. Nobody comes as scattered individuals. I can find me a Venezuelan association, a Venezuelan business association, a Nigerian business association. You can't find me an African-American association anywhere that black folks live outside of America. If I were to be dropped off in Jamaica, I would basically be left to fend for myself. I can't just do a simple search and find out, oh, there's an African-American business league in Jamaica. There's an African-American political association in Jamaica. Let me connect with them plugs. We don't got that. And so you got a bunch of black folk just making moves, scattered, and then they end up disappointed.
Yep. Like I said, black folks in America are a scattered group of individuals aligned by aesthetic similarities. That's what we are. People can look at us and say, oh, he's black or she's black. That's the only thing that aligns us. Because on a socioeconomic and political level, we, us, and our do not exist. And I've been saying that for like 30 fucking years. So when I hear people talk about we got to do this and we got to do that, motherfucker, who you talking about? We haven't even gotten to the point where we formed an organized we. But let a movie come out, now all of a sudden we the blackest shit on the face of the earth. Now we blackety black.
Got dances and all that shit.
Let me break down Wakanda Forever. Let me break down Black Adam. Let me break that. What's the next movie we're gonna break down? Avatar? Oh, wait, let's break down Avatar and show you how, you know, this is the white man. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm not trying to hear any of this bullshit. Sign up to the BAIO if you serious.
Plain and simple.
Because that's the only people that I'm dealing with. If you ain't signed up to the website, I'm not fucking with you. Bottom line, because I know you're not serious. Anyway,
we went through a lot. It was great, y'all.
Yeah, I miss you guys, man. I miss all of you.
It was such a great time.
I'm looking at my sister Salima's smile on the screen.
Don't let that smile fool you, though.
Shut your mouth, boy. Shut your mouth. Oh my God.
Hey! I do want to remind Salima. I did get some pumpkin spice.
Oh my Good.
You was
Yes,
milking
I had
that
some
milkshake, boy. I swear, you was milking that thing.
Yeah, I had a pumpkin spice drink when we were at the
Ew.
mall. Yes.
Yeah, he
Ew.
was
You
milking
know what
it
made
too.
it funny though? Lawrence, or no, that's his name, right? Lawrence.
Yeah, yeah.
Larry.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lawrence. Larry. He was like, he didn't like pumpkin spice either. I said, "Oh man, if Selima was here."
First of all, I'm just happy that my presence was still known, was still there when I wasn't there. That's first of all. Second of all, ew, pumpkin spice. Oh, pumpkin spice, really? Jabari, we gotta
I can't
stop.
really comment because I never had it.
Pumpkin
So I
spice
can't
is the
really say.
best.
Mm-mm.
Pumpkin spice is the best. I remember when it was at my school, I used to get it all the time. Because pumpkin spice frappuccino.
Is it a pumpkin spice shake or is it like ice cream or something?
It was a pumpkin spice shake.
Oh, okay. I'll try it. I'll try it out. Definitely.
It's so good.
Mm.
Well, you can't have anything pumpkin spice because it's the white man's
It's
holiday.
the white man's
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
See, Halloween, if you break down the root word, brother.
Right,
Halloween.
exactly. Exactly. But I don't
Tired of
even
these
like
damn decoders.
I don't even like sweet potato. So like sweet potato pie. I don't like either of them.
Pumpkin spice, my lord.
Sweet
Yeah,
potato pie is
we're
better
gonna have
than
the pumpkin
pie.
spice sellers now.
Oh,
with the oysters, clams, and cockles.
Sweet potato pie is better than pumpkin pie.
I don't like either of them.
Pumpkin spice, my lord. Perhaps to quench your thirst.
It's better than apple pie.
Wait, no.
Apple pie is that one. If there was one piece of pie that could like just straight up be abolished, straight up be illegal, it should be apple. It should
He
be
said
apple.
abolished. Oh
No.
shit!
I make the best apple pie in the world. I just talked to my niece and she said, when I come over on Thursday, I was like, I know I have to have your pie.
Yeah, one of your family members.
Apple pie is just nasty.
One of your family members wants to have a cheese.
They need to stop
sandwich.
making apple pie.
They want to have a grilled cheese sandwich bake off with me.
A grilled cheese
Which
sandwich
person?
baking.
I don't know. Somebody on Gita had somebody on thing. I was like, oh, I heard you make grilled cheese. I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
Y'all are too. It probably was Aisha.
Probably.
Aisha makes the best grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh shit! Then we got a battle.
Dang,
So we're gonna have to do that. We
got a battle.
That would be bomb. Yeah, because Kamal make the mac and cheese is woof. But yeah,
grilled cheese.
You can't have any. Sorry.
What?
I said it. I said it.
Oh, Ronan's chiming in.
Oh, Big Brother Ronan.
Look, now everybody's using abolish.
Make it illegal, abolish apple pie.
Wait, abolish apple pie?
Apple pie is just disgusting.
No.
If you were to get, I'd rather have cheese broccoli over apple pie.
Oh,
apple
oh
pie
wow.
Apple pie is just not it. Sorry.
What?
Wow.
See, I'm gonna have to make you an apple pie because I've had people say that to me, and then they was like, "Oh wow, this is different."
It is all about who makes it, though.
Mm-hmm. My apple pie has gone all the way over to Kosovo. When my cousin was in the military, I froze her 2 apple pies and sent them over to Kosovo to her.
Because I remember I used to hate carrot cake until my mom made it, and I was like, "Whoa!" And then somebody, like, you remember, I don't know if you were gone by this stuff. Do you remember the Cake Man on Fulton?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you remember? Okay. Yeah. You remember that red velvet?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah. Margarita, the girl that did my hair, it was my birthday, and she brought me a slice of cake. And I'm not a cake person. So it's like, oh, thank you. I was glad she brought it. I tasted that thing. I'm like, who the fuck made this?
Yes. Yes.
That cake is the best cake I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. His cakes was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. Like I don't think he's at that spot anymore. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't know.
Either.
He moved somewhere else. Wow. But man, that red velvet cake, I would put that up against anything.
Yeah, he had a spot on Myrtle Avenue before I left.
Yeah, because I'm used to cake being heavy. You know, like that cake was
Nope.
it was big slices, but it was light.
Light and fluffy. It
Light
really
and fluffy.
was. It was.
I don't know what happened to you, bro, but get back out there. That was good.
Wow.
So we done?
We done.
Cool.
Yeah.
This was great. You know, we had the hiccup at the beginning, but we kind of smashed that out.
Yeah. Had to get rid of that.
Thoroughly.
That was ridiculous.
But I'll just say this. There has not been one comment on that bend the knee video. That says it all right there.
Absolutely.
Nobody has nothing to say.
First of all, you're going to stop with the... Can we block the person spamming the chat right now?
No wonder who that is.
We got hacked.
We had the person selling sex. Now we got this person just being all disrespectful.
Yeah, like who is that person?
I don't know. And
69, whoever.
They just kept coming back. Get out of here, you weirdo.
Like, dang, yo, what?
But love you guys, man.
All right, love y'all. Talk to y'all later.
Like,
are we doing the lounge tonight?
You know it.
All right, I will see y'all there.
All right,
see y'all at the lounge. As always, like, comment, subscribe.